Guess what? A lot of people think that Columbus discovered the New World. But here at the Cosmic Summit, I'm finding evidence that he was not the first to land on the New World. Rather, the Templars were here before. This Kensington runestone proves that the Templars were here way before Columbus.
My name is Scott Wolter. This is a fantastic rock. It's called the Kensington runestone, but you can't really see it in this light, so I'm going to give you a little light. And this is, there are 9 lines of text here. There's 3 lines on the side.
Yeah.
See that?
Wow.
For a total of 12.
But this is a replica, right?
This is a replica, but it was made from the actual artifact.
Okay.
This is a land claim. It's a Knights Templar land claim. Right here it says acquisition business / taking up land from Vinland far to the west. We had a camp near 2 shelters, 1 day's journey north from this stone. We were fishing one day. After we came home, found 10 men red from blood and death. AVM, 3 Latin letters, saved from evils. There are 10 men by the inland sea to look after our ships. 14 days journey from this island, 1362.
And who were the Knights Templar?
They were the medieval monks that were aligned with the Catholic Church, that had white tunics, red crosses, they carried the swords, they fought in the Crusades, but they were not who people thought they were. The history that you've been taught about the Templars, the history you've been taught about the Crusades and all of it is bullshit. And the real story is much better.
How did they get to the United States? So they got to the United States before Columbus, right?
These guys?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
How did they get here? How did they get to the United States?
By boat. They sailed here.
Why are we told that Columbus was the first person that arrived here then?
You tell me. It's a bullshit story.
Wow. And they had...
It's not true. He never set foot. He came over 4 times, never set foot on what the land is we now call the United States. He only landed 1 time. On the 4th trip, he landed in what is now Panama. And he was horrible. He was brutal to the natives. He was greedy, and he was an asshole. So the fact that we lionize him, well, I think people have figured out now that that story is crap. But that was the narrative that we were all taught growing up, and it was not the truth.
But tell me about the Knights Templar. They were good people, and did they have houses, buildings?
They secretly venerated the sacred feminine. They used the Virgin Mary as a metaphor, and they honored Mary. The question is, who were they really venerating? A different Mary, Mary Magdalene. She was their ideological and biological ancestor. So the leadership of the Knights Templar were all bloodline descended from Jesus and Mary, John the Baptist.
And did these people, the Knights Templars, did they have buildings? Did they help construct the United States?
Well, they built the Newport Tower in Rhode Island, but they were also responsible for financing the building of the Gothic cathedrals in Europe, like Notre Dame, Amiens, Bourges. I mean, it goes on and on.
So they had, what kind of technology did they use to build these buildings? There was no electricity, supposedly, then.
It goes way back through Egypt into the Atlanteans.
So they had some technology that they got from the Atlanteans, which the Egyptians
Ancient
used.
knowledge that they incorporated that changed the world. Those structures were started in the 12th century. They're still standing today. Gothic architecture. What's really interesting about the Gothic architecture, you can imagine Notre Dame with the Twin Towers. Actually, these buildings were a symbolic representation of the sacred feminine, representing a woman with her knees in the birthing position, and those pointed arches in the doorways on the west side is actually the allegorical birth canal of the sacred feminine, the vagina. So when you go into church, you're entering into the womb of the great goddess.
But there are buildings like this also in New York, in Philadelphia, in the
They're
United
all over
States.
the world.
And these were built by these people. Also,
That's what that sacred feminine Gothic architecture is. So then after the service is over, you're allegorically born into the world again with this new knowledge that's been imparted
what
upon
does
you.
Gothic mean?
Gothic is the name of the style of architecture.
But it was actually the Templars that built these?
They were the ones that introduced it into Europe. Yep.
A lot of information, and where can people see this?
This stone is on display at the Runestone Museum in Alexandria, Minnesota, and the farm where this was found is 15 miles west, and it's now a Douglas County park, and they got a beautiful interpretive center there. This should be the first thing people see when they go to the Smithsonian Institute, because this was the land claim that was the stake in the ground that if the founding fathers failed, this could have proved that Templars were here. But they didn't need to, because our brother Freemason founding fathers finished the job. And you're welcome.
Thank you. Where can people find more information about you? Like, is there a YouTube channel that we can follow you on?
I don't have a YouTube channel, but you can go to my blog, scottwolteranswers.blogspot.com, or you can go to my website, which is scottfwolter, one word.com. And it's Wolter with an O.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye.